here in South Cali, Rockacama, and yeah, you know, some of the streets have sidewalks, some don't, and I'm used to it. I'm almost there. I'm almost quarter of the way. Oh, look at these offenders out here. Somebody save the children. Opinion is this: the street pushes you to the LIE. What do you do for a Friday? Well, at least there's you know, some space to walk here. Or maybe I could just jump on the grass, save my own ass. Oh, candy. I don't want to. Wow. Yeah, just so. Yellow inspection. Oh yeah, I've seen this already.
Yeah, so that you saw in the picture.
A Max is a Max. I'm driving that. Excuse my language. Haven't started since Christmas. Ooh, that's quiet. I like that.
Yeah. There's no ripples in the exhaust. It's not a hoopty. By no means is it a hoopty. It's a good car.
I done had 4 stick shifts, and then I have my first automatic that I just got. So this is gonna be nice. Nice little cruise. I don't know. A great car. Great. Beautiful. And now I have to do the honors of taking the maxi. Okay, so what you got here is 96 Maxima honeycomb wheels, and as you can see, black leather with the wood grain and the sunroof. And oh man, that smell, that Maxima smell, I love that. Oh my god. Woo! Oh man, feels like I'm going on a road trip in this. Man, look at that tailpipe, bro. Like, we're good. Wow. GLE, man. GLE 500. Thank God. The first startup of my own first startup, and let it idle, and we'll see what's going on with it. Oh my good God. Oh my good God. Oh, that thing was so smooth. Oh man, a mirror. First pull. Oh wow, she's smoking. Smoking real good. She ain't smoking, that's exhaust. I mean, upon turning, there's like knock. Oh man. Man, his daughter gonna miss this car. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, daughter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. Sorry. Still in the Max, baby. Got that Bose sound system going. Woo! Oh yeah, baby. Trying to do the front valve cover before the rear, so that way it has a longer time to seal. I got out the 10 bolts over there. Surprisingly, they were only like minimally tight. Disconnected mad freaking harnesses just to get this thing out the way. So see if I could just pull it up, even with the coils in there. Oh, oh yeah, might have got lucky. All right, hold on a second. Okay, this thing, the rubber broke away from the metal or aluminum stuff here on the underside of this valve cover gasket. Those seals came out, but it broke away from the seals it was next to originally, so I can't do nothing with this except clean it and take everything off. It's all brittle. It had RTV sealant. This is a front valve cover gasket. had RTV sealant right there in the cracks. I'm guessing this was changed once before it made it like another 100,000 miles. And then, oh man, I wonder if it's still any good. Any good in the hood. No. And that's still sticky. But it's the freaking surface where it meets onto it. It has residue all along the surface. It wasn't doing that much sealing. It probably got real hot too. I'm trying to get this. So I cleaned this up as much as I could. Multiple coats of oven cleaner. I guess that's a baffle. These wouldn't come out. I can see like some kind of RTV sealant on those, which is incorrect. I don't see no other traces of RTV like that. Just gotta make sure I clean them out real good. So these spark plug seals, just pop them out with pliers. It's better that way. Very quick. So after going in these grooves with my pick, or this one, on top of a rag, trying my best to clean it out. Just give it a nice little, just trying to clean it out and sanitize it. Might just get some sanitizer, some alcohol cleaner, just in case there's oil still left in there. Get some carb cleaner too. Yeah, I got carb cleaner. Then I went inside of these spark plug seal holes and folded this a couple of times. Of course, don't want to squirt it. Just give it a nice little dig out, you know. I originally thought those spark plug seals was being neglectfully held in by RTV, because I can see RTV. I guess they were worried about the spark plug seals falling off while they put this valve cover back to the engine. It was unnecessary to just seal it, put it on, get it over with. I guess that's normal to do for the most part. I'm just gonna sanitize it, some carb cleaner, and go back through here. Something, degreaser, something. I'm gonna hit it again with the thing here with the rag and try to see if I can clean out all of that, just in case there's some oily residue that won't let it seat correctly. As you can see, pretty much clean both sides of all the oil that was there. Looks way better, way better, way better. Thank you, oven cleaner. I had this thing with oven cleaner like damn near all night, all morning, just keep on recoating it. I guess that's a ventilation tube there. This is a crossover tube from front valve cover to rear valve cover, so yeah. Okay, we got some Velcro gaskets here. Arch Auto Parts. Okay, so blue gaskets are supposedly the new ones, so set the beveled side, the one with the spring goes down. The beveled side is for the spark plug seal. Yeah, okay, sticks on like that. Oh, yeah. Get a little here. That's probably what this old RTV lookalike stuff is. the way that one of these kind of like curled and torn. So what I'm gonna do is use part of the old one, kind of like a seal driver, and hammer on that. You gotta find the valve cover with its respective indentation for this. As you can see, that is the timing cover side, where you gotta put RTV sealant on both corners and go prep the other surface and clean it so that way it can have an effective seal. I'm gonna let it bake on top of the car while I clean the other side, so that way it can get all moisture and water and spit, dry it up. For one of the spark plug seals from the beginning, trying to hammer down on it evenly, so come to find out, anytime you deal with a seal, get some lubrication. I use spit. Use spit. Okay, so right here you can see disconnected the wiring harness to the idle air control valve to pull it out from under the throttle cables, and the purge valve main harness. And you know, there's a lot of zip ties on this car. You can pop them loose, and that's a grounding bolt or just a harness holder bolt. I just put the screw back there so it's there when I go to put it back together. Unplug the fuel injectors, harnesses, and on this side near the dipstick to the transmission, you gotta unplug everything up front. Just make documentary of what color goes to what. Unplug your come on over. I don't think I had to unplug that. I just had to like move stuff out the way. But if you have to, unplug your coils, unplug the map burrow sensor, unplug your crank sensor on the side of the timing cover, unplug your oxygen sensors. They're in the freaking way. All of that so you could swing that harness backwards. And the oil crossover tube, the vent tube that crosses over from one valve cover to the next, you will see it when you go to take the valve cover off. Just move stuff out the way so that way when it's time to go back on with RTV, that you're unhindered and you won't mess up and still have a leak of oil, and that'll drip onto your headers and subsequently maybe your alternator or wherever else. Also, don't forget to disconnect those two bolts and let the harness swing out the way. Just put the bolts back in for a safe space. Gonna let it dry. And put my valve cover on it. Yeah. See what we doing out there in New York City. You see us out there. RTV for that. I got that. Okay, as you can see, RTV is applied to where this valve cover gasket will create its own arch and have any gaps that oil can seep through. Now it is time for the install. Usually you gotta follow specs on torque and torque sequence in the manual, but general rule of thumb is tighten the insides going outwards. But since the RTV is applied towards the timing cover, it's best to just try and torque them opposite of each other, little as much as possible, and then gradually tighten them all down. So that way it can be an even seal as much as possible. Maxima. 4th gen stuff. You can get it right. Stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 is the rear. It's a lot of info in that one too. Saturated. Also, don't forget to hook everything back up. Your harnesses, your ground, any connectors. Make sure they're not in the way of the fan. Make sure they're not in the way of anything else. That's why you should make a video to document step by step what you did, what you took off, and put them back in place one by one. Clean as you go. Make sure there's nothing that fell inside. Any kind of rag material, paper material, nuts or bolts. Always keep a magnet stick handy just in case. And yeah, stay tuned. Part 2. Whoopee! Let it cure. Let it cure overnight or something.